There's been no major breakthrough during a second round of direct talks between Russia and Ukraine, but the two warring sides have agreed to a new prisoner exchange. The discussions in Türkiye lasted only for an hour and took place after Kyiv's daring mass drone attack on the Kremlin's military air bases. And Russia carried out one of its largest aerial assaults on Ukraine in the three-year conflict. Representatives from Moscow set out their terms for ending the war, which includes Ukraine giving up swathes of territory and accepting limits on the size of its army. At this stage, Russia says it's only willing to agree to a temporary ceasefire.
Since the Ukrainian side often talks about the necessity of a ceasefire all the time, quite in general terms, we have proposed a concrete and genuine ceasefire for 2 or 3 days in certain areas of the front. This will now be worked out by our military experts with the Ukrainian ones.
Ukraine says it'll need a week to review the document before deciding on a formal response, but in the past, Kyiv and the West have rejected all of Moscow's demands. It's suggesting further talks take place later this month. The Ukrainian president is supporting a proposal by his Turkish counterpart to bring together the leaders of Russia, Ukraine and the US in Türkiye. He says Russia's willingness to only accept a temporary truce over an unconditional ceasefire means it's not ready for peace.
They said they're ready for a 2 to 3 day ceasefire to collect bodies from the battlefield. I think they're idiots because the whole point of a ceasefire is to prevent people from being killed in the first place. So you can see their mindset. It's just a brief pause in the war for them. Therefore, I really want our American partners to take strong steps to impose a package of sanctions and to pressure the Russians into a ceasefire with strong sanctions. They won't understand any other way.
Kyiv says its surprise drone attack damaged or destroyed more than 40 warplanes at air bases deep inside Russia, more than 4,000 kilometres from Ukraine. The complex operation took more than a year and a half to plan. It has buoyed Ukraine's frontline troops, who say they're noticing an increase in airstrikes by the Russians.
They will be seeking revenge. Our intelligence and security service did an excellent job, as Russians were attacking our country with huge number of missiles.
They inspire us as military men. There's not much good news, but such operations add to our morale. They show not everything is lost yet, and that such an operation was planned and perpetrated by Ukrainians without Western help means we can really give it to them.
The head of NATO is calling on Europe to bolster defence spending to help counter the threat from Russia. He was speaking alongside Volodymyr Zelenskyy and other leaders in Vilnius ahead of a summit of alliance members at The Hague later this month.
We are facing the most dangerous security environment in decades. Russia's war of aggression continues. Terrorist threats persist. We are not at war, but we are not at peace either. So we must continue to strengthen our deterrence and defence.